I see you, Doreen. What's going on? Hey, Melissa. Good to see you. Axe and Rick. Be careful driving there, Rick. What's going on, everybody? Hey, May. Good to have you back. Kathleen, Brett, Lois. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this month's Inner Circle. Here's what's really cool. Who's new? Raise your hand if you're new to the family. So good to have you here. If you're new, put it in the chat. What's cool about the Inner Circle, you guys just happen to come in with a lot going on. Monday, for those of you brand new to our family, we got to spend time on Monday with our first major kickoff call. I see some familiar faces. If you're new to us and you didn't get that Monday call, it's in your back office, that Monday Zoom. Make sure to go find it. Look at all these great new people coming. And we got some people I see on right now that have been with us almost a decade. Every month, I've been going live. This was our Inner Circle. It's still called our Inner Circle. Now it's a part of Mastermind, which is amazing. And this has just been a group that we've grown together. And every month, for those of you new, because you got a lot, right? For those of you new, I'm going to share again. Don't get overwhelmed. It's one step at a time. Kaizen, how do you run a 1,000-mile race? One step at a time. Everything we've done is just here to support you, to keep you moving forward, to subtly nudge you sometimes out of your comfort zone, to utilize the capabilities at your fingertips. Who in here is realizing you got the tools you need to make this real in your life, right? And realize that no matter where you are, you could scale this, you could grow this, and you're never gonna need anything else. Who's having some fun talking to Gigi and seeing how she thinks like we do? Is that pretty cool? Who's put it in the chat. I see you, Nancy. I see Catherine. Put in the chat if anybody's had a conversation with Gigi and is like, oh my God. I mean, just think where we were 5 years ago. If someone would have said you could have been talking to somebody who can communicate, can help you, can extract, yeah, mind blowing. I'm with you on that one, Vicki. I still feel that way. And I said this on Monday, but we have all of our family here today. Know that Gigi is getting smarter. The more you use her, the smarter she's actually getting. I know that sounds crazy. When I explained that to my dad, he's like, wait a minute, who's Gigi and how is she getting smarter? But it truly is artificial intelligence. And she was programmed to think like Tony and I. And that's where her information starts. She still has access to the entire web and everything else has, but she looks through the lens of how we think, how we do business, and all those types of things. So I'm glad to see so many of you using it. Using her. Everybody, if you're on this call today, and there's thousands of you here, you have access to Gigi. So if you need help or you're not sure how to utilize it, get in there and get in your back office and start using it. Now, a couple things I want to share. For those of you new, or those of you who have questions, and those of you like me, where technologies, I wasn't born with it. You know, at 55, when I went to high school, there wasn't even computers, right? So the year I graduated, my high school got computers, and that was just the old like green and white DOS that you used to program in. So I didn't grow up with technology. And some of you, it's a little tough, just like it is for me. I want to let you know we're here for that. You have 24 hours, 7-day-a-week live chat support. And also, if you emailed us, I promise by the end of this week, we will be caught up. We had 800,000 people register for the event, and you can't imagine how many thousands and thousands of emails we got. And we have a team of 50 working around the clock, and we're almost caught up. So if you sent in an email and it took 6 hours, 12 hours, sorry. But I promise you that won't be the case by the end of this week. Cool? And just so you know, you're always going to get transparency from me. We do one big monster event a year like that, and that's the only time of year we scramble to catch up a little. Plus, this is new to so many of you. From our record, 74% of you here, you're new to this world, new to the technology. Cool, it's a little bit of a learning curve. What I'm going to ask you for you is be resourceful. Right? We talked about that. Success takes a little time. Success takes new patterns. Success takes saying, hey, let me figure this out, not get scared. And today I'm really excited to share some of the principles that have shifted my life. So I'm a little ADD this morning. It's been a long month. But here's what I was thinking. So many of you new came in. We did our Monday training. And we're going to have trainings all the way up to our World Summits, those of you attending the World Summit. these monthly trainings will always be here for you. And I'm going to suggest, especially all the people who said new, try to make it live every month. If you can't, you can watch it that night. But what I've done for a decade is bring to you the things that are shifting my life and keeping me moving forward. And they're really focused around mindset, marketing, and momentum. And each month, it'll be one of those topics. And I'll try to bring the one that I think can move the needle the most at the time you're there. I still attend masterminds. I hold masterminds. When I find a discovery, you guys will be the first ones that have it. You'll always be one step ahead. And that's why I love these. I get to do this monthly. And for me, I've been doing these so long that you'll see probably a different version of me on my inner circles. I feel like I get to hang out with thousands of people that are just friends. And that's how I'll approach today if you guys are cool with it. Kind of casual, kind of relaxed, but we're gonna move the needle. We're gonna talk about and do the things that keep us moving forward. In 30-something years of being an entrepreneur, in 27 years of being in this exact industry, if I didn't recognize patterns by now, then I should run and be in something else, right? I get to do this every day of my life, and I promise you, sometimes I'm gonna share with you what you want, and sometimes I'm gonna deliver what you need, because I know the balance. And sometimes we think it's the big thing, but it's actually the nuances. It's the little things between the big things. It's the little hinges that actually swing big doors. And I promise I'll do my best to deliver both of those to you so you keep the momentum, you keep moving forward. Because whether you're brand new, whether you're a little overwhelmed, whether you're just starting out, wherever you are, I think we can agree this is the best product that not only Tony and I have ever created, where you get the learning center with everything you need at any level. We get to give you an assessment to understand where you are on the way in. Who's done the 7-step jumpstart and seen how you can get things done in a short period of time, right? You got Gigi there to help you every step of the way, and she's getting smarter every day to help you in your game. You get me every month, live. Here's the first one. And then you get the tool, the hub, I should say, your implementation tool that has everything you need to build, launch, scale, grow. You get to model our campaigns. So if we know we have the ingredients, and I said this Monday, if we have the ingredients, we know it's an industry that's exponentially growing. We know a big chunk are brand new. Some of you are in this game ready to go to another level. Some of you own a business and want to add it. So if we have all those pieces, what is the only thing that could really fumble us and get in our way, right? If you want to put it in the chat, what's the only thing that could stop us, right? Ourselves, right? Timothy and Kaylee and Gary and Stacy and Eric and Ian and Andrea and Dorian and Francis and Dijon, right? Alejandro and Rachel, right? Doubts and fear. So that's why we designed all these pieces the way we did. That's why you get Inside Mastermind. You get a new course every month. Don't be overwhelmed by it. It's just stuff providing information to stay plugged in. If you ever listen to Tony Robbins, and he's a part of what you do, I learned from that guy many, many years ago. The fastest way to get from where you are to where you want to be is to find somebody who's already done it and model proven practices. That's the education. You're modeling what Tony and I took 70 plus years between the two of us to figure out. The reason we give you Gigi, the reason we have a community, the reason I go live every month is to help you stay plugged in so you have the spaced repetition, right? So you don't get little lost, don't get in your head of limiting beliefs and the old story that's already cost you too much. And that's what makes this a family. If you ever hear me refer to this group as a family, I know some of you are new to this group, but you will feel this family grow. Who's already feeling a little bit of that family vibe in this group, right? Might seem overreaching now, but won't if you stay plugged in. Because if you're having a tough day, this is the group will say, don't you dare give up on yourself. You have a breakthrough, you go to the group and share with everybody how you had a breakthrough. Need a little help? Go ask, right? Love the vibe. Thank you all the beautiful comments coming in. So, listen, like I said, Tony and I have been doing this for 74 years. If we don't know what you need by now, then we should quit, right? So we built the thing that we wished we had, and now technology's caught up to us. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this family. If you're ready to do this, we're ready to be committed and dedicated to help you across the finish line from your first sale, next sale, consistent sales. So in a year from now, this is your thing, right? The last thing I'll say is I've heard so many successful people say it throughout time. We all overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in the next 5 or 10. Nothing happens overnight. There's no magical money machines. But when we find a path, we find an industry that's growing, we can model proven practices, we have the tools we need, and we can get out of our head and realize that we are meant for more and we can keep moving forward. That's the ingredients for you to look back and go, wow, I'm doing this. I'm not talking about it. I'm not scared. I'm actually doing it. So everybody, glad to have you here. Welcome to your first Inner Circle, part of our family. Welcome back. So with that said, I thought about what would be a great training today. Know that so many of you are getting into this for the first time and you're learning and working through the course and the pieces. So many of you that are a part of our family, if you're in the mastermind family, you have access to so many new tools. It's mind-blowing. And Gigi growing and all those pieces. So I thought today, let's go through 10 things that I believe are the small hinges that swing a big door. They're the little things that have moved the needle for me and the most successful people I've been around, for Tony Robbins, all those things to really anchor in, because if we agree you have the tools and the access and the capabilities and the desire, we know that this is the only thing that can get in your way, correct? Daphne, I see you shaking your head, right? We know that that can get in our way, so I thought this would be great. And Harumi, I hope I said that right. Thank you for the heart. I hope I said your name right. I was trying to think what to call these, like 10 success habits, 10 things that, looking through the lens of a successful entrepreneur. There's a lot of things. And some of you might not want to label yourself as an entrepreneur. Some of you do. Some of you are not even sure, like, wow, is that what I am? Labels don't mean anything. But these are 10 things that I think can really help give you a new perspective. And some of it you already know. So some of these, let them be reminders, right? Because needle movers, I like that, Daniel. Some of these are just reminders of the things we know. Do me a favor, I get to see hundreds of you and I get to see all of your chats. If you could, do me a favor, raise your hand if you spent most of your life in a career working for somebody else. Raise your hand if you spent most of your time in a career working for somebody else, right? Great. It looks like the majority of you. And before we get started today, I want to frame this. Without realizing it, thank you, little beautiful hands, thank you, thank you. I love this interaction. I love that we get to see each other. The reason we built the studio the way we did is because I get to see your chats live, I get to see your faces, and I get to see hundreds of faces at once, and then the team shifts it, and I get to see hundreds of other faces. So by the time we're done today, I'll see thousands of you, I'll see thousands of your chat. This is the best way you can be in your living room anywhere in the world, or your home office, or your office at work, or some of you in your car. And I get to see you, and we get to interact through here. So light up the chat whenever you want. And if you see me looking to the right, I'm not trying to avoid you. It's how I get to see the chat. So that's why I can see your words. Sharon West, how you doing today? Right? Good to see all of you. So the reason I asked about a career is, especially those of you new, those of you already in the game, as an entrepreneur, you get this. But sometimes without realizing it. And I've said this before, so bear with me if you've heard it. But it's really critical to hear this. When we go through life and we go through school and we get an education and we get a degree and we get a job, sometimes we go to that career with this enthusiasm that I'm going to help make a difference in this company. I'm going to show my value. I'm going to show my worth. I'm going to get the promotion. I'm going to get the raises. And sometimes, not in all cases, sometimes the promotion is passed by. Sometimes your amazing feedback, Allison, I see you shaking your head, sometimes your amazing feedback doesn't get recognized or implemented. Sometimes you're so excited about something that can really help the company you work for, and it feels like nobody's listening, or you might have and I'm not being mean, but you might have a leader above you that's intimidated because you're such a hustler and a go-to person at your business, that it's easier to go, if I let her rise, maybe I won't. And all the politics and things that happen, and it just took me years to really talk to so many people to realize what happens sometimes without realizing it. Your innovation, your creativity, your desire to grow gets slowly trickled down to where you go, well, fine, I'll just do my job and put my time in. And I want to wake that creativity back up. And without realizing it, when you fall into that subtly, even if it's just 10% off, you start playing defense rather than offense. You stop taking the crayons that your kids had and writing the logos of your new company on the back of their cartoons or their coloring book, because it's like, well, this is the way it is. And now all of a sudden, all of you are here, you're going to have to rely on yourself. It's all on you. Guess what? There's no guardrails. You could make it on your own and you could fail on your own. And though that's exciting, it also sometimes messes with your gut a little bit of like, ooh, this is on me. Yeah, it's on you. So, but I guess at the end of your life, would you rather look back and say, hey, I played it safe working for somebody else that kind of helped me feeling small? Or I was scared to death to do my own thing. I was scared to death to look in the mirror and go, you are enough. You know enough. You can do this. We can do this. Would you rather be the one that played it safe? I mean, would you want to get to the end of your world and at 100 years old have a whole bunch of people standing around your bed and go, what would you think Allison's life? Oh, you know, I'm so glad she played it small and didn't lean into her full potential, and she protected us. Don't you want your kids to go, oh my God, May, my grandmother was insane. She was nuts. Melanie, Wendell, right? He was crazy. He went all in. He did all this crazy stuff. He failed a couple times, then got up and did, like, I think we want that for our soul, and we want that for the people around us, to be the rebel, to go against the grain, to try things other people won't. I'm not talking about quitting your job today if you're in one you don't like and disrupting your whole life. Some of you will do that, but some of you got to realize that if you start saying no to the crap that doesn't serve you, it'll open up time, and you could start working on this on the side. And as this gets momentum and this starts going, and you start seeing that this, when I put an hour in here, it gets me exponentially more than I get here, then someday you can make a decision and say, screw that career I don't like. I'm going all in on this. I'm going all in on me. So I'm telling you, this is not as a magical money machine, but is it true? Raise your hand or put it in the chat. Is it true that this is an industry that's exponentially growing? Yes or no? Is it true that you have a life experience that can help someone go faster? Whether that's learning piano, getting through a divorce, or having an amazing marriage, or learning how to sell, learning how to market, learning how to fly fish. Is it true that you have something that's valued to somebody else? Right? Is it true that you're a part of a family now? If two guys been doing it for 74 years, you got the education, you got Gigi, you got me, and you have a tool to make it real. Is that true? Right? I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I just want you to tell your soul, we got what it takes. So let's freaking do this. Because so many times in life we get to a certain threshold and something is going to spook you. I'm just being honest. Something's going to spook you. Someone in your life is going to spook you. Something on the news is going to spook you. An old limiting belief is going to spook you. And there's some part of our brain that used to protect us from a saber-toothed tiger. Now it's protecting you from new opportunity that goes, you should be happy where you're at. Don't try that crazy new thing. And something could spook you to fall back to that. And I'm going to keep being here to nudge you to have you say what Carla said. Not this time. So that's why we're here. That's why I go live on Mondays. I'm going to keep poking and prodding until you get, because I promise you, when you get the thing done, when you feel confident about it, when you start telling people you know, you get your first sale. And again, I know so many of you have already gotten first sales. Then we're going to talk about your next sale. And we're going to talk about consistent sales. Then all of a sudden, that career mindset, that protection, that, you know, I'll just do my job and get it done, all of a sudden that will look like a prison. And the ability for you to be in control of your life, to know that no one is coming to save us. There's nobody. Listen, if you live here in the States, is this the craziest election period you've ever seen in your entire life? It's insanity, right? But no matter what happens in November here in the States, is anybody going to come fix your life? Anybody saving us? Anybody paying off our debt? Anybody giving us free control? No. No matter what they promise, it's on us. So we might as well look in the mirror today and go, there ain't nobody coming except you. So let's do this. Let's go all in. Let's be crazy. Let's be daring. Let's not be the person in the stands wearing someone else's name on the back of the jersey. Let's be in the game playing. I'm ready to play with you guys. I'm ready to help you take it to the next level. What we've created, we will keep improving. We'll keep being there. We'll get your feedback. If we're missing something, we'll add it. So you got our commitment. You guys committed to go all in? All right. What an awesome group. Look at his chat just lighting up. So when I look over again, I'm not looking away from you. I'm just looking at this beautiful chat coming in. Okay, so thank you. A couple people said you look younger, you have so much energy. Can I just tell you why? First off, I'm working today. Okay, I'm working right now. I'm at work. I'm checked in. I'm at my office. I'm here with you guys. And it's a gift I can't wait for all of you to feel. That you get the ability to move the needle in someone else's life, and I get paid to do it. Right? That's a pretty cool thing. It's a pretty cool thing. And again, I know so many of you are doing it, but I can't wait. All right, go back up, go down a little bit. You ready for 10 things that we can call them needle movers? We can call them entrepreneur mindset. They're little. You've heard them, but today I want you to hear them through a different lens. I want you to hear them as if it's the first time. Okay, these are in no random order. I created these about 5 years ago when someone said to me, if you had to give me 10 tips on shifting my life, what would they be? I was like, God darn it, that took me weeks because I could give you 10,000. But these I thought were really important, and they could fit right into your life, especially where you're at. So number one, audit your inner circle. This is called Inner Circle. You're in it. This is a great group of people here. But number one, Mariah, thanks. You're so quick. Audit your inner circle. You've heard this before, but you are the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you have one friend that's super positive, that every time you tell them you're going to do something new, like, I know you can, Coco. I know you can, Damien. You could do anything you put your heart to. I'm so proud of you. But you got other people saying, come on, Marilyn, you this? Come on, you should be happy. Look what you got. Your family's healthy. You got a job. Come on, Marilyn. Like, you got to understand you are the sum total of the 5 people. We know it. We've heard it our whole lives, haven't we? But maybe this is a time, especially in this very delicate space where you can go all in or you can bail. Maybe you need to audit that inner circle a little bit and say, who do I need to spend more time with? And who do I need to spend less time with? Who can I just put off for the next 90 days while I get momentum, while I get, into my first sale, my first momentum, my first mastermind, my first workshop, get my course done. You got to realize that people influence you more than you realize. And sometimes when they influence you, it's easy for our brain to make excuses rather than achieve our goals. Felicia, I see you shaking your head, right? You get around the right person. Hey, some of us have the most caring parents in the world. My mom, if I told my mom, I can't tell my mom my crazy dreams, because you know what my mom says to me? Baby, you're the sweetest boy. You were a sweet boy since you were little. It's okay if you didn't hit your goals, and if you just live an okay, it's okay to live an okay life. No, it's not. No, it's not okay to live an okay life. I don't think we get to the end of our life and go, thank God, it was just okay. Yay! There's no cheer for that. Jeannie, I see you guys laughing, right? There's no okay. Don't settle for that. And if that's been programmed into you like my mom tried to program into me, I love her. She's the sweetest woman in the world. But I didn't want okay. If you guys wanted okay, I promise you wouldn't be here with me. You guys would be watching reruns of the Kardashians or something. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying. You're taking the time to be on a training, not just surfing through the internet. So be careful of the people that give you a break. Be careful of the people that make you start thinking of plan B. Excuse me, on a Wednesday here, I'm just going to say it. Screw plan B. Plan B gives you an exit strategy. Plan B is like, I'm going to try this thing for a little while. If it doesn't work, I'll just go back to the thing that I hate. No, I am leaving my job in 6 months. Burn the damn boats and go all in. And there's some people that give you like, no, it's okay. We can see how it goes. Screw how it goes. Let me just tell you something. If you had to do this, if someone said, I don't want to be, something could happen or so, if you had to do this, 100% of you would. We agreed it's good industry, right? We agree you got something that's valuable to somebody else. You got the tools to do it. You got people who care about you, and you got a community to be a part of. So if you had to do this, you would. So be careful with plan B, because plan B gives you that exit, and be careful with the people who make you think about plan B, or be careful with the people that love you and they're just going, you should be happy where you are. I'm not saying be careful to get rid of them out of your life. Find a way around it. Find a way to ignore it. Find a way to let it go in one ear and blow out the other. Okay? Another part of that, I had a dear friend, his name was Sean Stevenson. Sean was born with an illness they told his parents he wouldn't live 2 weeks. He had a rare disease where his bones were soft. When I met him, he had already broken 170 bones in his body. He was 2 foot tall. And here's a guy that would walk in a room, I'd have him on my stages, and he'd go out in his wheelchair, and within 10 minutes, you forgot that he was 2 foot tall in a wheelchair. He lit up a room. And he was the kind of guy, his sense of humor was so awesome that he'd go out on my stage. He's like, all these other speakers coming on, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, and he goes, I bet if you guys, as popular as you are, you guys walk into a restaurant, I bet you 20, 30% of you get someone to look at you. He said, you want to know something? When I go in a restaurant, they all look at me. Like, that was his personality, right? I loved that guy, right? Crazy thing is, he made it to 40 years old, and he got a new wheelchair that put him up higher, and it was a brand new type wheelchair, and the damn thing flipped over and he passed away. And craziest thing, the guy makes all this thing in a wheelchair, ended his life. But he still lives in my heart, and so many people. And one gift he gave me, and I want to give it to you. He said, don't dare dim your glow to match the people around you. Did that hit anybody like it hit me? Or was it just me? Man, when he said that, and I don't care if, I see some of you in here that I know personally from seeing in the chat and being part of this, that I know you're already killing it. But there's going to be a phase when you get to that you're going to think you should slow down. That maybe I'm going a little too fast. Maybe I'm having too much success. Screw that. If you were designed to have massive success, if you want to become massively successful, you can give it all away. You can help more people. You could serve others that don't have the ability to do this. Don't dare slow down. Don't dare dim your glow to match those people around you. Sometimes, I know this is just a quick thing, and I know you've heard this before, but sometimes we're waiting for somebody to get us. You want someone in your life, even your spouse, your parents, a sister, brother. Like, we have this underlying thing where we want them to come up and go, hey, I didn't get it before, but I get you now. I see what you're going for. And I know deep down some of you want that, and you're never going to get it. But there's a different way to look at it. We can look at it through the lens that Trent Shelton shared, is the people around you just got a different prescription. That's all you got to do is look at it that way. You got a different prescription. Like right now, I could see you crystal clear, right? I see Jim Horton, right, getting ready, doing his thing. I don't know if that's beer or that's coffee. I can't tell, but beer, yeah. So Jim's working, getting ready for the day, right? I could see him clear. I can see my future clear. You guys being a part of Mastermind now, whether you've been with us for years or a day, you guys are starting to see clear a new future. True? You guys starting to see something maybe you never saw before? Well, the way Trent said it, whatever your beliefs are, Trent said, well, God gave you a new prescription. You put it on. Wow, this is crystal clear. And then you go home, try to explain it to someone you love, and you put your glasses on them and it's blurry. They look at it and go, this is stupid. I can't see anything. Of course, it's not their prescription. It's yours. So I'm going to share is don't try to have people get you. They probably won't. They probably never did. And that's okay. That's okay. See, at first, you're the dreamer. And then you become the crazy one. You might even be the lucky one in someone's eyes when you start having success. And then you're the person they admire. And then someday, they're sitting around having coffee with somebody else and said, I knew her when. You got to remember that. But everybody that they say, I knew her when, or I knew him when, started off as the crazy dreamer. Who wants to be a crazy dreamer? I do. Okay, number 1, audit your inner circle. Number 2, this one's pretty easy. Solve bigger problems. Solve bigger problems. You see, I used to think, when I shared some of the things I did during the event, it's true, my parents were married 9 times. My mom 5, my dad 4, moved a bunch of times. We all have our stuff. That was my stuff as a kid. And I remember thinking when I was young, I want to get successful so I don't have all these problems these people around me have. My mom seemed to have a lot of problems. My dad seemed to have a lot of problems. The world seemed to have a lot of problems. And I kept thinking, success solves problems. I looked at it all wrong. You don't want your problems to go away. You don't even want your problems to get smaller. You want to get better at solving bigger problems. Think about that. Think of our threshold. Say you go to log into Mastermind and you get in and you're like, I can't find my damn assessment. I can't find my assessment. I can't find my assessment. I'm done. Go to coffee with a friend 3 months from now. I was going to do this thing, but I tried to log on. I couldn't find the damn assessment that they promised me. Bastards, right? Or someone else goes, I can't find the assessment, but I'm going to do what it takes to find it. I'll look here. I'll click this. I'll click that. I'll hit customer support. Oh, they took a day to get back? Okay, they're a little busy. No big deal. I'll get this through. I need to talk to somebody. 24-hour support. I found my assessment. What's your threshold to solving problems? Some people go, I tried customer service twice. It's been 4 hours. I want out. Okay, I'm sorry. Someone else who tried and 5 hours later they were in the system. 5 days later they were working it. 5 months later their life is shifting. That's only little things. I say this as a joke, but when we've all done it, guilty, we've all been on the receiving side of it. You cut somebody off by accident, somebody loses their mind. like who's all had that experience of someone losing their mind completely over a silly mistake, right? My life shifted the day. As soon as I see that, I feel bad for them and go, oh, if that's a big problem, I know the rest of your life is screwed. I'm at a point where my family laughs at me. If I order, Jeannie, you guys are making me laugh. I love seeing your smiles, and Yvette, I love seeing all the smiles. I'm at a point where my family will laugh at me. If I order chicken as my main dish, and I get rare steak, I eat it. Who cares? Who cares? Is it going to shift my life? If I ordered the dressing on the side and they soak it in dressing, I eat the salad with soaked dressing because I could give 2 craps. It's no big deal. I want to solve big problems. I want to let big problems disturb me to grow, to stretch. And it took me years to train myself on that, and I wish someone would have told me sooner. Don't look for smaller problems. Here's what I know. If I'm in a room with really successful people, I know the most successful person in that room solves bigger problems than me. So I've trained my brain to look for bigger stuff. Can I tell you, you're all part of this family now. Do you know how much work? You probably don't. During the event, we said we spent $6.7 million to create on this journey. It's actually closer to $10 million. I got a report from our accountant, from our CFO. 5 years, close to $10 million, 130 employees. Do you know what it took to build an education platform that also has an assessment, to have GG, artificial intelligence that thinks like Tony and I, not just traditional chat GPT, to make it easier. Do you know what it's like that we had to program the ability to have the tool, the hub, integrated inside Mastermind to be able to do all the things they do? When I first said this to the team, you know what the team, I have the most amazing team in the world. They were like, it's impossible. That's too big of a problem to solve. And you know what my brain thought? We're on to something. Where if you don't train yourself, you go, well, maybe it's a dream. We wanted to create one place that did it all. Listen, go out. If you're new, just because you won't know the difference, go out and price all the things that are in Mastermind. Go price what it would be to have separate chat, have separate email, have a separate builder, have separate communities. Go price it all out. It literally is about $4,000 a year. No joke. We said, we want to create something where it's all in one. The team said, I don't think it's possible. Once again, my brain went, big problem. We're going to change the world. I know we don't get to think like that immediately, but I'm going to stress to you, when something hits you that really disturbs you, go, it's kind of a tier 1 problem. I don't have to get upset by this. I'll just solve it. Like, Max says I spend 4,000 in one program, right? So if you solve bigger problems, you get bigger results. Here's what I know. When I first started and was broke as heck, and I started in real estate. I shouldn't say, I started with cars. I used to fix wrecked cars and sell them, fix wrecked cars and get paid to fix it. I remember one of the first deals I ever did. I had the chance, I don't know if it was $1,000 or $2,000, one of my first real estate deals. I was going to make, which would seem like a shit ton of money. Excuse my language here on a Wednesday. I don't know how to say it, but it was either $1,000 or $2,000. It was huge. And the stress I put into that deal, the worry, and then she backed out at the last minute, and then I found the deal, and I had to borrow money to close the deal for just one day, and then I was selling it to someone else, all this stuff, the stress and the worry. Since then, I've been blessed to do $50 million deals. Guess what I realized? Same amount of stress, same amount of work. So if I'm going to stress over a deal, stress over things that can bring you more of a reward. And you got to train your brain to do that. You get in and go, man, I know how to do this. I built the program. Man, I'm never good at marketing. I get a little nervous when it comes to marketing. Your brain should go, ooh, that's a big problem to solve. Must be some big money and impact on the other side of that one. Let's do it. Not easy, but that's a gift I wish someone would have given me. If you avoid marketing, can you ever be successful? Yes or no? No. If you build it, they will not come. I don't give a crap how good it is. So if marketing's a problem, address it. Face it. It's a problem to solve. Sales is a problem. Face it. Address it. You got all the answers. You can model our marketing campaigns, for gosh sakes. You got trainings on sales. All I'm saying is look for the problems, solve bigger ones. Got it? I should be going through these a little faster, but I'm having fun with these. Are these landing with you guys? Okay, number 3. I'll go a little faster. Number 3, I already talked about this, so this one is going to be kind of quick. It's on me. If you could write that in, it's on me. Mariah, you are on top of it. And what does that mean? Just what I already said. No one's coming to save us. Take complete ownership. It's liberating. It's beyond liberating. If you try and you give up, it's on you. If you try and it fails for the first couple of months at first, it's on you. If you try for a couple months, then you get your first sale. Ooh, and you learn a little bit. You impacted someone's life. You shifted something a little. Now you got 5 sales, 10 sales, 100 sales. Guess what? That's on you too. If we can say the only person that is going to empower or stifle my success is the person in the mirror, I got to tell you, it changes everything. It changes everything. Listen, I have a company. This company alone has 130 employees, and I'm blessed to be a part of multiple companies. But this is my company. When things go wrong, I don't blame anybody in the team. I should know it. And it built a culture. Like literally before I came in here, Aubrey, who helps put on all of our events, we ordered some tables, the wrong ones came in. I said, what happened? She goes, I know it wasn't her. You know what she said? My fault. I'll take blame. It is just so liberating to just say, it's on me. Because our brains, it's like we got two voices in there. You would have made it if your parents or sister or your brother or your spouse would have supported you. You would have made it if that login process was a little easier. You would have made it if you were born earlier in life and technology was just a part of your soul. We could come up with all that crap. Or you could just say, you gave up. You weren't resourceful. You didn't follow through. You didn't get the questions answered. You didn't model proven practices. You didn't show up for the weekly training. You didn't show up for the monthly training. You didn't actually go through the whole course, did you? Like, calling yourself out is the greatest thing on the planet. Because then you got mano a mano with the person in the mirror. Win, lose, draw, it's on you. Cool? Number 3 was it's on me. That's pretty simple. Number 4, who is steering your ship? Who's steering your ship? That one, there you go, Marilyn. Marilyn's raising her hand. Leanna's raising her hand. I like to think about this. Put it in the chat. What's the most expensive advice in the world? The most costly advice in the world? Do you know what is the most costly advice in the world? That or Matthew, free and bad. Both are true. Free and bad advice is the most costly advice in the world. It's your broke friend telling you how to make money. It's your single friend telling you how to work your relationship, right? That's just obvious and silly, but the truth is, bad advice is the most costly advice in the world. But we actually take it sometimes. And when you take advice, the way my brain works is that means I'm letting someone else steer the ship. How am I ever going to get to my destination if someone else's hands are on the wheel? But let me give you some other things that could steer your ship. Could the news steer your ship? Anybody ever watch the news and get done and just feel empowered, inspired, know that everything is just in a beautiful place? No, right? You watch the news, you're like, oh my God, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. We're screwed, right? You watch the news on a regular basis, I promise you the news is steering your ship. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, someone's got their hands on the wheel. Why not go on, depending on where you are in the world. I'm just naming some places here in the States. It's on the complete opposite sides of the spectrum, right? If you're watching the news and you're trying to get inspired, maybe you got to go on a news diet for the next 30 days. We talked about our inner circle. If there's someone in your life chirping in your ear that gives you self-doubt, they're steering your ship. If a coworker, a spouse, is influencing your decisions, they have the hands on the wheel, and you wonder why you never got to your destination because you're not steering the ship, someone else is. And there's some things on the inside that are steering your ship. Imposter syndrome, past regrets, past failures, past procrastination. They were yesterday. They don't have to be today. Maybe you procrastinated in the past because it wasn't the right opportunity, wasn't the right person, wasn't the right time, wasn't the right industry. Just pray to God and say, thanks that I was a procrastinator. Thanks that I missed that opportunity. Thanks that it failed because it was wrong. If this is the right one, then put your hands on the wheel. And if anybody tries to put their hands on it, smack it. Don't let the news, don't let a coworker, don't let a spouse, don't let anybody in your life put their hand on your wheel. This is your life. You don't want to get to the end of your life and meet your maker and say, why didn't you live into your full potential? I was only driving half the time. Screw that. Grab the wheel. It's yours. Make sense? All right. Thanks, Evelyn. Thanks, Anna. Number 5. I got this one from Og Mendino, the author. It says, I will greet this day with love, or I will meet this day with love. You see, in times like these, and when I say times like these, there's just a lot of uncertainty, right? There's not sure where the world's going. You want to protect your future. You're here because you want to create something that you're in control over. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in this room today. In times like this, I feel if we meet each day with love, then we get to serve greater, care more, love more. That means we sharpen our pencil and we get to serve people greater. I see you, Joshua, right? If we meet this day with love, we serve greater, we care more, we love more in a time when people need it the most. Will we stand out? Will we stand out? Yes or no? I'm not trying to get overly sappy, but can you tell that I really enjoy this and I really care about you? I hope you do. I'm not coming here to try to impress you. I'm coming here to try to let you know that you're cared for, that we love you, that we want you to reach your full potential. We have your best interests in mind. I hope you feel it. Thank you, Timothy. I hope you feel it. Because I think if you know that we truly care, if you feel understood, then you won't give up on you. And the best way you could say thank you to us is just go out and kick ass. Literally, the best way you could thank us is just go be you. Go do you. Don't just feel I'm meant for more. Go find that more. Live into the person you're meant to be. That's the greatest thank you could give us. But doesn't it just change? Like, you know how fun this is for me? Because if I sit here and feel like I'm with a bunch of family, I'm going to talk differently than trying to say, if I talk right, they'll stay in the program and maybe they'll spend more. It's like, that's cool. That's how a business grows. But if I start with just meeting this day with love, that's the byproduct. I don't have to think about it. True? Everybody's worried about sales. I think if you worry more about truly caring, then you really don't have to sell as much as you think you do. Just care more. And here's a byproduct of it. You ready for this one? If you care more, if you love others more, and you know you're providing something good, don't you love yourself a little more? Don't you? If you've ever worked for somebody when you first started, and then you find out maybe the product you were offering wasn't the greatest, or the company you worked for wasn't the greatest, isn't it kind of a shitty feeling? Right? We've all been there. Like, yeah, my company does an okay thing. But then you got to create a numb part of your life, right? Like you got to be a little numb someplace, right? Not all of you are in sales. I get that. But those of you that have ever been in sales or close to sales or doing the accounting for sales or helping with the support of sales, if it's not the greatest product, a part of you's got to look the other way. True? But if you care and you love your product and you love people's outcome, Matthew, I see you shaking your head, man. Appreciate the truth there, right? But if you love the product and you know every time someone rings the bell and gives you money, you get to change their life, do you feel better about yourself or worse about yourself? You feel damn good. You're like, I get to shift another person's life today. Boom! Right? We got done with the challenge. I know if you guys stick with it, I can help be a part, so Tony can help be a part of shifting your life. It is amazing. Every yes to us is a freaking celebration. And then we get to hang out and do cool stuff, meet new people, create new accomplishments. All right, so number five was I'll meet this day with love. Number 6, this one's pretty straightforward. Be bold. It takes courage to do this. It does. Doing something different, doing something new. You got to grow. Some of you are already doing well. You're going to have to start hiring people to go even better or go bigger. Some of you have a business. You're going to add this on. You got to be bold. I don't know what other term to use. Courageous. Because when you're more bold and you're more courageous, you stop hesitating. Some of you have hesitated for way too long. I'm not saying that to make you feel uncomfortable, but it's just true. You've been waiting for the perfect time to leap. Stop waiting. Take uncomfortable action. It's already cost you way too much. Your family deserves the best version of you. You deserve the best version of you. And when are we the best version of ourselves? When we do the stuff other people are unwilling to do. When we do the right thing for us. Be selfish in a moment so you can be selfless for the rest of your life. And sometimes you can talk about all the things you need to do. Sometimes you just got to be bold, courageous, and just jump in. Anybody ever jump in a cold plunge or a really cold pool in your life? Did you ever walk around the edge of the pool, put your feet in 10 times, get up to your knee, back out? You're like, God, and sometimes you just go, screw that. You jump in. Sometimes you just got to jump in. And that takes being bold. And that, something I hope to teach my children, I've been trying forever, is the person you should never lie to is you. Stop saying, I'm going to do this, and then 6 months you forgot about it. Is that cool to lie to yourself? You don't want to set that pattern, set that tone. We start stuff, but we don't finish. Bullshit. You used to start stuff without finish. That's your old you. There's a new you. The new courageous you just keeps pushing forward, takes uncomfortable action. You move forward even when you're scared. Do the things that would make you proud. Hear that one again. Do the things that would make you proud. If other people around you are proud, great. If they don't notice it, who cares? It's about making you proud. So number 6, be bold. Thanks, Joy. Thanks for writing that. Number 7, focus on the fix. This is just something I've been telling my kids since they were little. Focus on the fix. What does that mean? Be a solution-oriented thinker. Start training your brain to focus on solutions. See it, feel it, learn from it, and then all your energy goes to fix it or learn from it. We only have a certain amount of energy in our body, correct? Right? We can make more, but there's a certain amount of time, certain amount of energy. And if we focus on why, how could she do that? How could he do that? Why did this fail? Why did this go wrong? Why would someone do that to me? We could spend months, years, and effort and energy on focusing on the why, or we could just learn from it and go focus all of our energy on fixing it or growing from it. The silly analogy that I said to my kids, if you spill a glass of milk, you could say, why did that spill? Whose fault is it? Who would put that milk on a carpet with its... Is the carpet going to smell? Is it going to be underneath? Or you could just get a damn towel and a new glass of milk. Think about that. We all know someone. We know someone that was in a relationship and the other person did them wrong. Some people spend weeks, some people months, some years. How could they do that? How could they do that to me? Why would they do that to me? Or you can go, hey, what was my part of that? How did that work? That was sucked. Never going to do that again. You can learn from it and take action towards improving your life. It's the same thing here. As you move forward, it's going to be things that didn't work out, things that went wrong. Do a live training, no one showed up, or they did and said some stuff. You can go, oh, I went live and there was 3 people who said they didn't like it. You can go, I'm out, or hey, let me learn from that. How do I fix that? I'm going to do the next one and not do that crap. Focus on the fix. Train your brain. When you see things that go wrong, learn from it, and all the energy is moving forward. Got that one? Okay. Number 8. Look for the little things. Now, everything I'm sharing today is kind of a little thing, but is it a little thing or kind of a big thing? Right? Little hinges that swing a big door. But number 8, start looking out for the little things that you do that you could subtly adjust. Things like, we all have routines. Some of us have good routines, some of us bad routines, some of us have good and bad routines. But maybe you could just observe the routines you have and see if they serve the man or woman you want to be or they don't. Some of you have a routine. Some of you say, I want to get up and be in a positive mood, right? I want to be in a good place. But your routine is you wake up and check out your email, check your text messages, check the news. And then you're in a shitty mood. The two don't match. You want to be in a positive mood, but you have a routine that sets you up to fail. Just look for those little things. I do that on a regular basis. I look for the things that I do. I say I want this outcome, but I'm doing something that doesn't give me that outcome. So you go, oh, I'm going to shift that. I'm going to wake up and pray. I'm going to wake up, read a little bit out of the Bible, read a little bit of personal development. Or I'm going to watch a 2-minute inspiration video. Or I'm just going to think about how blessed I am. Or I'm going to think about one of the big wins I had the day before. I'm just using this as a silly morning routine, but some of you want an outcome, but you're setting yourself up with a routine that doesn't get it. True? I'm guilty. Just start acknowledging it. What routines do you have? What disciplines do you have? What are you doing that is tiny, but actually taking away from the outcome you want? So, what are some things you could look at? I'm just going to ramble some things off. You could look at your current routines. You can look at your current habits. You can look at certain disciplines and say, is this serving the person I want to be or not? And then just make subtle adjustments. Don't try to do it all overnight. Maybe you start journaling. Maybe you jump into the course. Maybe you read more. You meditate, like Max does. My meditation, I take a 30-minute walk every day of my life at 5 a.m. Whenever the sun starts to come up, it's enough to see outside, I take a 30-minute walk. That starts my day. That's kind of my, that's kind of the kickoff of my day. I go exercise after that. I drink a green drink. That's my little morning routine that sets me up for a great day. When I don't do those things, I set myself up for a failing day. So I shift that. Watch your patterns. Exactly. Make sense? Look for the little things that can get you a big outcome. Number 9. This one is one of my favorite. I got this one from Og Mandino too. It's something that's been a philosophy of mine my whole life, but he put it in a scroll so it was easy to remember. And it's, for those of you who are part of my family, you already know this, but if there was one word in the English language that can guarantee your success, those of you who know me, you already know this. What is the one word that can guarantee your success? I'm waiting to see it in the chat. Put it in the chat if you know. There's only one word I know. Yes, gratitude. You, yes, serve, grateful. Keep going. Oh, there we go. Brett wins. Ding, 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 ding. I believe if you're in the right industry, you're modeling proven practices, you have the tool you need, you have the guide you need, the only thing that can guarantee your success or fail is I will persist until I succeed. Number 9, I will persist until I succeed. In the book, World's Greatest Salesman, he talks about life's like a bunch of corners. And you don't know how many corners you have to persist and go around until your next level of life is on the other side. Some of you go around 3 corners, there it is. Some of you might have to go around 30. And the only people who don't eventually go around a corner and meet the next version of themselves are the ones that stop going around corners, that stop moving forward. So if you ingrain in your heart the right industry, you know the purpose on why the heck you want more, you define your more, and then you get the education, the tools, model-proven practices to make it happen, the only thing left is keep going. I see you, Melissa, right? You got to just keep going. Got to keep moving forward. And that's why we're going to be here. That's why I'm here on a monthly basis. I'm going to keep nudging you like this every single month and every single Monday to keep moving forward. Take that uncomfortable action. Take that next step. Let each step be a reward of letting you know that you're moving in the right direction. So I will persist until I succeed. Number 10, who versus how. All I could say is watch your brain when you start getting into something and go, well, how do I do that? How do I get people on social media to read my stuff? Oh, that seems hard. How do I market? Ugh. How do I get people to say yes? How does the money go from them credit card into my bank account? How do I figure out? How will freak you out? Who changes everything? Who's already figured out how to get marketing dialed in? Who's already figured out how to sell? Who's already figured out how to get momentum on social media? In this case, we did. We're your who. We've already done it. That's why we've created it. But in any area of your life, you're thinking, hey, we've been together 22 years. We lost our friendship and we lost our intimacy. How are we going to get it back? No, go find someone who's just been together for 25 years and their intimacy and passion is killing it, and go interview them. Figure out how they did it from the who's already done it. Is that making sense? Just shift your mind. When you get confused over something and go, how the heck am I going to this next level? I'm already doing 10 grand a month as a coach. How do I get to 100 grand a month? That's hard. Model who's already been there. Go take our trainings that take you to the next level. So my life has changed completely when my brain starts freaking out on how, and then I stop and go, who's already done what I want to do, and how do I model them? Who versus how. That's it today, guys. That's the 10 things. The team can put it back in the chat. I hope you took some notes. The cool part is we have thousands and thousands of you here live. The rest of you, I hope you're getting to watch this as a replay. As the day we did it, as soon as you can, watch this. We love having you here. For all of you here, remember this training, because it goes, when we're done here today, it'll go in your back office at Mastermind, and it's accessible to you at any time you want. And you might want to watch it with a significant other. You might want to watch this once a month. It is yours for life. That's why being a part of our family is so important. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you so much for saying yes, for trusting us. You guys made an investment in us, and we don't take it lightly. But now that you're in, don't put one foot out. Don't dabble. Don't be looking for an excuse to jump. Let's go all in. Let's do this. We're here. I know you're here. We're committed, and we love having you a part of the family. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all real soon.